The Galactic Council deceived Earth now humanity's war. Fleet Darkens, the Star's Admiral Sarah Chun stood on the bridge of the UE's Retribution, her weathered hands clasped behind her back as she gazed at the holographic display before her. The sight that greeted her would have been impossible to imagine just 5 years ago. A fleet of 3,000 human warships stretching across the void like a metallic constellation, their hulls gleaming with the cold light of distant stars. "Status report, Commander Hayes," she ordered, her voice cutting through the hushed atmosphere of the command deck. "All fleet groups report ready for deployment, Admiral. The Vanguard has detected the outer perimeter of the Galactic Council's defense grid. They're scrambling everything they have." Chun allowed herself a cold smile. Fear. After decades of treating humanity like naive children, the Council was finally experiencing what their victims had felt for so long. The deception had been masterful in its simplicity. When first contact occurred in 2157, the Galactic Council had presented itself as a benevolent organization of advanced civilizations, eager to welcome humanity into their cosmic family. Earth's leaders, desperate for the advanced technology and wisdom of the stars, had eagerly signed the Terran Accords without reading the fine print. For 30 years, humanity had labored under what they believed was a probationary period. They provided raw materials, sent their brightest minds to serve in menial positions throughout Council space, and accepted severe restrictions on their technological development, all while being told they were proving their worthiness for full membership. The truth had come from an unlikely source, Dr. Marcus Webb, a human xenorchaeologist working on a supposedly routine dig on the Council world of Kepler 442b. What he found buried in the ancient ruins wasn't artifacts, it was a database containing millennia of Council records, including their true assessment of humanity. Chun remembered the day Webb's transmission had reached Earth. The recording had been played in emergency session before every major world leader. Webb's voice, shaking with barely contained rage, had delivered the revelation that would change everything. "They call us Terrans in their official documents," Webb had said, "but in their private communications, we're the breeding stock. They've done this to 47 other species. They identify worlds with aggressive, adaptable populations, then use elaborate deceptions to keep them contained, while harvesting their best genetic material and brightest minds. They never intended to grant us membership. We're cattle to them." The galaxy had underestimated humanity's capacity for unified rage. Within months, Earth's fractured nations had formed the Terran Federation with a single burning purpose. Every defense contract was rewritten, every research facility repurposed, every space-capable vessel militarized. Humanity had learned well from their alien teachers, perhaps too well. The Council's own technology became humanity's weapon. For 3 decades, human engineers and scientists had been working in Council facilities, maintaining their equipment, studying their systems. They knew every weakness, every backdoor, every security protocol. When the time came to strike, humanity didn't just rebel, they surged across Council space like a technological plague. "Admiral," Hayes called out, pulling Chun from her memories, "we're receiving a transmission from the Council Fleet Command." "Put it through." The hologram flickered, and the elongated form of High Counselor Vexstar materialized before them. The Getherian's usually pristine appearance showed signs of strain. Her crystalline skin had taken on a dull, frightened hue. "Admiral Chun." The alien's voice carried the universal translator's emotionless tone. But Chun could detect the underlying panic. "The Council is prepared to negotiate. We can discuss terms for humanity's full membership. The time for negotiation ended when we discovered the breeding farms on Proxima Station," Chun interrupted, her voice like steel. "When we found the genetic laboratories on Europa Colony. When we learned what you did to the Valdorians, the Nexari, and 45 other species before us." Vexstar's form flickered, whether from transmission interference or her own trembling. Chun couldn't tell. "You don't understand the complexities of galactic governance. Sometimes difficult decisions must be made for the greater good." "The greater good?" Chun stepped closer to the hologram. Your greater good involved harvesting human children for genetic experimentation. Your greater good turned entire species into slave labor. Your greater good ends today. The transmission cut out, leaving. The bridge in silence. Hayes cleared his throat. Admiral, we're detecting massive energy signatures throughout Council space. They're powering up their planetary defense systems. Let them, Chen replied. Deploy the Prometheus protocol. Across the vast human fleet, weapon systems had never before been seen in galactic warfare came online. Humanity had not just learned from Council technology, they had improved upon it, weaponized it, and turned it against its creators. Quantum torpedoes that could phase through shields, nanite swarms that could consume entire space stations, and gravity manipulators that could turn a planet's own mass against it. But perhaps humanity's greatest weapon was something the Council had never anticipated: their capacity for righteous fury, channeled through 3 decades of careful planning and unified purpose. This is Admiral Chun to all fleet commanders, she announced across the tactical network. Today we do not fight for conquest or glory. We fight for every human child taken from their families, for every brilliant mind enslaved in Council laboratories, for every species the Council has deceived and destroyed. Today, we ensure that no species will ever again fall victim to their lies. The response came as 3,000 voices speaking as one, for humanity, for justice, for the future of the galaxy. As the human war fleet moved forward into Council space, their ships casting shadows across entire star systems, the galaxy would learn a truth that Earth's former masters have forgotten in their arrogance. Humanity's greatest strength had never been their individual brilliance or adaptability. It was their ability to remember. And humanity would ensure the galaxy never forgot what happened when trust was betrayed and innocence was exploited. The stars themselves seemed to dim as the human armada advanced, carrying with them the promise that this ancient cycle of deception would end, regardless of the cost. The Galactic Council had awakened something they could not control, could not negotiate with, and could not comprehend. They had awakened humanity's war.